Airbnb subleasing in Dubai sounds like a dream for passive income. But trust me, it's a financial and legal nightmare. Here's why I would never risk it. First of all, Dubai has stringent legal and regulatory requirements. Dubai requires explicit content written by the landlords so that they can allow you to sublease. Without this, subleasing is illegal and it could lead to eviction and legal disputes. And guys, I do emphasize this as the number one point because not following the rules and respecting the regulation in Dubai could lead to very serious consequences. Also, regulations under the Ijari system will add another layer of complexity, requiring all leases, including subleases, to be officially registered. That's why, guys, don't play around, do your own due diligence and write calculations before you get into this market and make sure you respect the rules. The second thing why subleasing in Dubai could lead to potential nightmares is the high operational costs and setup fees. All Airbnb operators must obtain a home holiday permit, register with the DTCM, Dubai Tourism and Commerce Marketing, and comply with ongoing inspections and fees. Of course, for sublessors, this adds substantial costs and significant overheads, reducing the potential profit margins. At the same time, renting in Dubai, as you may know, is also done in checks, and it's really, really difficult to get a lease with 12 checks, meaning that you pay every single month. Most cases would give you 3 or 4 checks, which means that initially for a one-bedroom apartment, let's say, you will have to pay, if it's furnished, 10% deposit, if it's unfurnished, 5% deposit of the annual rent, and you also have to pay for 3 or even 4 months rent in advance. And that is in the good case if you get 3 or 4 checks lease. However, many owners would actually ask you for even 1 check, which means that you actually have to pay for the whole annual rent in advance. This obviously complicates it a little bit and makes your Airbnb arbitrage or subleasing very expensive because you have to have all that money in advance, and you also need to risk it all because you have probably never done it in the Dubai market. If you've done it somewhere else, this will definitely help you, but if you haven't, you will definitely experience some backlashes because Dubai also has other factors that would influence this, and we will cover this in the next ones. Third thing is that Dubai has a very volatile market demand. Dubai's tourism sector is highly seasonal. Peak periods might see very high occupancy rates and also higher prices, but off-peak seasons could lead to prolonged vacancies, causing a very unpredictable cash flow, which definitely will not help you. Specifically, if you're doing this for your very first time in this newer market and with all the other aspects that make it not very feasible. The fourth thing is that there are a lot of fines and they might hurt you, and even permit revocations. Penalties for operating without a license or violating regulations are steep, starting at 5,000 dirhams and escalating for repeated offenses, which basically means that you have to pay double, triple, and more if you're repeating this again. Number 5 is that you have very limited control as a sublessor. Generally, this is a known fact and thing all over the world, but here in Dubai, this is more stringent, and definitely sublessors have way lower authority than the landlords because they hold almost everything and retain the ultimate say. Changes to leases, agreements, or sudden landlord disputes may lead you without, again, any stable cash flow. Also in Dubai, usually the second lease, if you want to renew it, it will be at a higher price. And there are many, many cases from my own experience, from my network's experience, that the landlords are heavily increasing the lease prices for the next years, which definitely will have a big impact on you as a sublessor, and you will basically see way lower profit margins, if not even going bankrupt. On the other hand, of course, you can dispute this, you can challenge the landlords. However, for you as a businessman and doing the subleasing here in Dubai, this will definitely not have a great impact, because you'll have to wait for a longer period to terminate these disputes and successfully take control over your leased property, in case that you were the one who was having the successful say, and if in case a landlord was increasing the price by a very high amount, which obviously is regulated by the Dubai authorities. Number 6 is that there are very strict property and occupancy rules. First of all, only entire properties can be rented on a short-term rent. Shared or partial rentals, or just a room from your apartment, are prohibited. Also, occupancy limits further constrain your operations. Secondly, many villas and apartments are actually ineligible to be rented on a short-term basis unless they meet specific zoning and structural criteria, which is definitely limiting you as a sublessor, because let's say you want to do something like I did a few years ago in Bali, when I was renting bigger villas and subleasing the rooms. You wouldn't be able to do this in Dubai. Number 7 is that there is very high competition and market saturation. Dubai's short-term market is very competitive, simply is dominated by very big property managers from all over the world who came to Dubai, set up their offices here, and took it as the market leaders. Obviously, they have better cash flow. That's why they would offer better deals and services. However, I don't usually want that to scare you. Competition is actually good. So I do believe that healthy competition is definitely going to be good and make you more successful. However, in this market specifically, you heard the other points that I mentioned and a few more that I will. They are making it significantly harder and more challenging to get the top ranked positions among the other bigger players. Also, because of saturated listings, newer sublessors struggle to gain visibility on Airbnb amidst all this saturation. Number 8 is that there are hidden risks in subtenant management, which is a more of a general thing. You have it everywhere, but in Dubai, this could definitely eat up your profits. Issues like delayed payments, property damage, or subtenant or guest disputes can definitely eat into your profits and make your journey less smoother and not as enjoyable. Number 9 is that there might and have been in the past economy and governmental shifts. Governmental policies or economical shifts are basically changes in tourism regulations or just newer incentives that can heavily impact demand and your operational costs. Changes in the local dynamics, such as introducing bigger hotels and giving permits to some other developers, that could basically overshadow the short-term rentals, and you will have just more hotels that are offering the same or even bigger apartments for a fraction of your costs. So that will definitely lead into competition and way less profits for you. Finally, Dubai is always bustling and developing and growing, which basically also can have some negative effects on you. And the number 10 thing that I want to mention is the reputational risks, as negative guest experiences and bad reviews just because of the noises or construction, which is happening everywhere in Dubai, or just simply very bad maintenance, can result into poor reviews and damage your business reputation. Dubai's strict enforcement of property quality standards will also leave you with an unease and make it more challenging for you to meet it every single time. If, for example, you want to invest in some renovation, you will always have to ask the authorities if they allow you to do this or not. By now, I hope you got a better understanding why I personally believe that Dubai's subleasing market is not very good and it could be super challenging, specifically if you're doing this for the first time. But on the other hand, there are very many other really good opportunities here that you can definitely start, and that is mainly just simply property investing and trying to maximize your revenue through long-term rentals or simply capital appreciation over the years. Such alternative options might provide more stability for your business, for your property investing aspirations, and definitely make it less challenging and avoid you from any kind of pitfalls. Also, I'm not saying subleasing is a bad thing. I actually also started with doing subleasing. However, I chose the Bali market, which of course at its own time and has their own challenges as well. It's a very difficult market with many kinds of regulations, but for me, it was still easier to do it there. It was definitely cheaper, the regulations could be met, and there were not such significant starting costs, and of course, operational management, which is way cheaper in Bali. Nevertheless, I hope you got a really great grasp of this topic, and if you have any ideas, comments, or thoughts, leave them in the comment section below. Leave a thumbs up, subscribe for more videos, and I will see you in the next one.